Now, the case against 4 suspects in the Hillary Gardee murder has been provisionally withdrawn. This is because witnesses are not willing to testify. Gardee, of course, the daughter of former EFF Secretary General Godrich Gardee, was killed in Mpumalanga last year. The NPA says it will be speaking to all witnesses about their refusal to testify. Let's find out what exactly has happened then. Pule Letshwiti-Jones following the story for us, joining us with the latest now. And hello to you, Pule. So give us just a sense. I know you have a guest with you as well. This is not an acquittal. This is simply a withdrawal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It means that suspects are free for now. However, MPA can manage to persuade witnesses to cooperate and testify. It means we could be seeing this case coming back from the court room. We do know that today was scheduled to be trial before the Mpumalanga High Court, but of course, due to this latest development, that could not happen. I must say that the Gardee family is still quite reeling from this tragic incident as to how their daughter was brutally murdered just last year around this time, and all they want is justice. I mean, if you go to Twitter, the father of Hillary Gardee, Mr. Godrich Gardee, saying that justice hasn't been served this time around, as the suspects haven't been able to be held to account. You remember there were 4 suspects: Gareth, Mr. Sipho Mkhacha, Philemon Lukele, and Albert Gama, and these 3 made the application before Judge President Francis Lugori today to say that the charges of kidnapping and killing Hillary Gardee should be withdrawn. However, the last suspect, Mr. Tlhabira Nguna, told the court through his lawyer that he was ready for trial. But I have a guest right now, Mr. Alton Romeo, legal expert, joining me right now to chat to us this afternoon. Romeo, thank you very much for speaking to us on eNCA. Perhaps let's just start with the first question. What does this mean in an event whereby the witnesses refuse to work with the NPA? Could this case go cold?
No, indeed, what happens if a witness refuses to testify, then obviously they can be dealt with as hostile witnesses in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act. So they can be subpoenaed as long as this prosecution or the state knows where to find these witnesses. You subpoena them and they have to appear. If they don't appear in court, you issue a warrant for their arrest that will bring them to court. So technically there is mechanisms in the CPA, which is the Criminal Procedure Act, to actually bring them before court. Obviously, if what the prosecutor has consulted with them in consultation about the crime, and now they testify maybe something different or they don't give the information, that can also be seen as an additional charge for obstructing justice, because they have knowledge of a crime that was committed and they're withholding that information willfully so. And this can speak to, was these witnesses bribed to actually not come and testify, to say that they will disappear for the trial, and then the operation of PRECA is now activated. So PRECA can then be activated against these people and they can be charged and they can be held, these witnesses can be even found guilty and actually sentenced to 15 years in prison if we can show that they were somehow bribed not to come and testify. And this is a common occurrence. It's not the first time that you'll see in criminal cases witnesses doesn't rock up at court. It is that the accused would then have their people indirectly influencing these witnesses or paying them or even intimidating them. And if the witnesses are intimidated not to come and testify, they should then make the state aware of that so that they can go into witness protection programs instead of just staying away. But if they were bribed one way or the other, given a financial reward or some reward, then we can also look at PRECA to actually charge them for defeating the ends of justice and obstructing the justice system here.
Alton, is this a concern that without the witnesses, the case may not be able to have sufficient evidence to ensure that the suspects are held to account? I mean, we know that in this country there's been a problem around the issue of witness protection, where we saw the late Babita Deokaran being killed execution style. So would this be a concern as well? Could we see the NPA losing this high-profile case if witnesses say that their lives are under danger, their lives are being threatened, and therefore they cannot continue with this matter?
Yes, obviously, if you have a legitimate claim for privilege or to remain silent, you can somehow say that you refuse. But that would still say that you are sitting in possession of information that the state need to actually prosecute. So there is mechanisms, but obviously with having in mind that our witness protection program was not so rock solid for Babita Deokaran, people will have concerns that even if I go in witness protection, will I be safe? And the thing is, like, if these critical witness is not there, then it could mean the end of this case. It could actually derail the NPA's chances of success in this case, because if you don't have these witnesses that can testify and actually link these 4 gentlemen to the crime that was committed, the killing of Hillary Gardee, then you have got a problem. So you need these witnesses to come and testify so that we can show that a crime was committed and a crime of murder, and who was instrumental, were they perpetrators, co-perpetrators, accomplices, or even accessories after the fact, how we can link them. And if these witnesses are not there, then it can mean that this case, the state won't have enough evidence to prove one of these, or the case against them in one of the 4 capacities, being a perpetrator, co-perpetrator, accomplice, or accessory after the fact. And that can lead then to the case going not cold, but it is actually that these guys get acquitted. And once they get acquitted, they will never be charged again. And I think that's why the state provisionally withdraw, because they don't want to take that chance. Because if these guys are acquitted and later on the witnesses rocks up, they cannot be charged again for the same crime.
And just in brief, lastly, Elton, for someone who does not understand, of course, if the witnesses then decide that they will come and testify and cooperate and work with the National Prosecuting Authority, does this mean that the case will be brought back on the court roll and the trial will then begin?
Now, obviously, if the witnesses is found and they are placed in witness protection program where they cannot be influenced, intimidated, or even if they come out of their free will and they're not. But once the witnesses is found and they can actually come on board and the NPA say, we've got the witnesses, then the NPA can just simply subpoena the accused persons to come back to court, give them summonses to say, listen, on this day your matter will be enrolled, and then the matter starts. And already we've been through case management. Maybe they might have new lawyers, then they just go to case management, give them whatever they still need and set the trial dates, and then we proceed. So that's why it's wise of the NPA to provisionally withdraw, because they can reinstitute the charges. It's not like this is an acquittal where they say you no longer will be charged, because it's provisionally withdrawn until the state is ready to proceed with the case. And the state, being dominance leaders, they can decide at any time, we are ready because our witnesses is available, and proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, Elton Romeo, one legal expert there chatting to us. You know, Gareth, the issue of witnesses is an element which is quite crucial in this investigative process as well. It reminds me of one high-profile case where the suspect fled the country, of course, being the Bushiris, and which now witnesses are expected to come and testify in Malawi, but some in South Africa are saying they will not go to Malawi to testify. So it's quite concerning, and hopefully the NPA can get to it and ensure that justice is served and that the suspects are held to account.
Pule Letshwiti-Jones, thank you very much indeed, and we'll leave it there for the moment. So that's the breaking news. You can see bottom of your screen some details there from Pule. So just to remind you, in case you missed the start of that, what they're talking about was Pule Letshwiti-Jones, the state withdrawing charges against 4 men accused of killing Hillary Gardee. That news in just a short while ago.